If you're a bass player and you're on YouTube a lot, you have probably stumbled across Charles B. To put it simply, Charles B is one of the most amazing musicians I've ever heard hold a bass guitar. He slaps, he taps, he plays with his fingers, and often he does it at the same time, and he does it with almost flawless technical precision. I mean, the guy is so good, the first time I heard him, my bass slapped me. And not only does he play all this amazing stuff, he has another channel where he shows you how to do it all. Charles, love you, baby. I'm a big fan. Keep doing what you do. I have links to Charles B below. And he's not the only bass phenom out there. There's a million other bass players showing off their technical prowess through their YouTube channels. Now, the other day, I was in one of the bass chat rooms, and somebody made a comment that there's all kinds of professional level bass players like and who are all on YouTube. And as a former working bass player, this kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not saying and aren't professional level bass players. What prompted me to make this video is there's a culture out there that seems to equate technical skill and proficiency as being a professional level. There is so much more to playing bass than just mad skills and impeccable timing. One of these things is feel. I can't tell you how many times I've hosted a blues jam where a guitar player or bass player comes up and they're playing all the right notes and all the right parts, but what they're playing is definitely not blues. And I've come across videos on YouTube that try to explain the feel of blues in different genres. But as much as these videos use formulas and calibrations about where notes lay in the groove, feel is something you really can't teach. It's something you either do or don't. Because watching a video about how to feel a specific style of music is kind of like watching a video about how to enjoy a particular flavor of ice cream. The way you learn feel for various styles and genres is to actually be in a band that plays them over and over. One thing I'm thankful for is that I started my bass playing career in working top 40 variety bands. And I was exposed to different styles and genres at an early age. But feel is also applicable to musicians themselves, especially drummers. Some drummers play what's called a fatback snare. This is a snare that falls slightly behind the beat, especially if you're playing funk or funk rock. And I feel that fatback snare right between my shoulder blades, and it creates a wide, fat pocket of groove to play bass to. But there are some drummers that play everything behind the beat. These are called drag drummers. Now, sometimes there's a song or two where this type of feel is warranted, but these guys will drag anything, including your up-tempo songs. When I play with a drag drummer, I often have to adjust my playing and push the groove a little bit, sometimes having to change the bass line to compensate, and often playing staccato. Just opposite of this is a push drummer. These guys count off 4 on the sticks and they're off to the races. When this happens, I feel like I'm that dude on the Advance to St. Charles Place Monopoly card. And just like playing with a drag drummer, when I play with a push drummer, I have to change what I'm doing to compensate, often oversimplifying my parts and playing very legato just to anchor this drummer down. Every time I finish a gig with a push drummer, I feel like I just got done working out at the gym. Now, I need to clarify that this is not a tempo issue, but a feel issue. Experienced drummers with drag tendencies play the right tempo, but they feel a lot of songs behind the beat, whereas experienced push drummers also play the tempo correctly, but they feel a lot of songs ahead or in front of the beat. And both types of drummers can slow down or speed up a band if the musicians aren't cognizant of it. And unfortunately, a lot of that responsibility falls on the bass player. Another topic that's hard to learn from YouTube is telegraphing. A telegraph is being able to pre-predict the next chord change based on what the other musicians are playing, or telegraphing to you. This is an excellent skill to have if you're going to do a lot of sub work and studio work, and often you have less than a bar to anticipate the next chord change. I'll give you one example of this. Let's say you're playing a song in a particular key, and the one chord all of a sudden goes to its dominant 7th form. More often than not, the next chord is going to be the 4 chord. In that case, it was the key of G with a G chord followed by a G7, telegraphing a C chord, because I can hear how a G and a G7 played successively like that want to go to that C. And this is just one of many telegraphing examples. Sometimes it's the chord changes, sometimes it's what the drummer's playing, sometimes it can even be what the singer is singing. And there's other facets of bass playing besides feel and telegraphing that only practical hands-on experience is really going to teach you. Now don't get me wrong, I personally think if you drop Charles B in any band situation, he'd rock it like a boss. But just because I think Charles B can do it doesn't mean that I think every YouTube bass phenom can. YouTube is a great source for bass education, and that teaches you how to play from your head, but only practical experience can teach you how to play from your heart. I'm Rib13, thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. A big thank you to Derek and Joe, my Patreon supporters, and I'll see you next time.